Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Lu. I know it's a bit of unusual background that I have today to talk about finance, but just ignore that. Today, I want to talk about this very important topic that half of Singaporeans actually say that, they will never achieve financial freedom, right? Pretty jalat, right? Yeah, it's very, very jalat, okay? And I think it's very, very important that we are trying to address this issue. So today, Mr. Lu will give you some insights to my personal reflection on this interesting discovery. Let's watch on, shall we? I was surprised to see a media article that says that half of Singaporeans felt that they will never achieve financial freedom. You'll die, right? Die. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I think it's very achievable. And I want to give you some reflections, okay, of this issue. The article came out in the Straits Times, and it specifically says that close to half of Singapore residents say that they will never achieve financial freedom. And they've actually interviewed a lot of people and came out with this finding. And I think this is very sad if this is were to be true. But fortunately, we run the 1 in 6 5 movement for so long, and I think we have got some track record of helping people achieving financial freedom. I want to address this issue. If you're one of these people who feel so negative, please watch on all the way to the end. I want to tell you it can be done. So of the 3,000 people who were polled, close to 44% said that they will never be able to do so, right? That's so negative, right? I want to tell you this, when you think that you can't achieve it, for sure you will never be achieve it, right? Because you're mentally giving up already. So I think financial freedom is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I can also safely say that for those people who felt that they can achieve it, they will have a good chance of achieving. Then for those people who say that they can't achieve it, very rarely they will achieve it because mentally they really have a mental block. And this is a serious problem, okay? I think this is a problem as serious as some disease like cancer or whatever. No, we want to deal with this problem. Now, the question really is it increasingly more difficult nowadays? Yes, this is true, right? With all the inflation that's happening, with all the cost of living going up and things like that, yes, it's increasingly more difficult to achieve it. But you know what? It still can be done. I've seen people achieve it again and again. I want to give you some of this insight. Do not give up and do not despair. That's the most important thing. So what are the three reasons that people cited that is stopping them from becoming financially free? Number one is insufficient income. Number two is unforeseen personal or health circumstances. Number three is job insecurity. Let's try to address these, peel the onions and address some of these issues, shall we? This is basically big issue, right? 钱不够用, right? Because income is not enough. Now, the question really is, how do we have higher income? The first thing I want to say is that we are in Singapore, and in Singapore, is very likely you can get higher income, okay? Because the job market is usually very tight and skills can be developed. So the first thing you need to do is to figure out, whether you can change a job to get high income. Now, not everybody can do that, but I think I have realized this more often than not, that people are limiting their potential because they are fearful of changing a job. A lot of people are very comfortable in their current job because they're familiar, the environment is secure and things like that. And as a result, they accept a lower pay in exchange for this comfort. This insecurity of taking on new challenges stop them from changing a job again, get high income. Is it true that when you change a job, you get a higher pay? More often than not, it is true. So the more job change you make, there's a good chance you actually get a higher pay. That's something that I see a lot in the commercial world. On top of that, I think it's very important that we try to build more streams of income. Now, what do you mean by more streams of income, right? Number one is be resourceful by doing a second or third job. Now, Mr. Lu, I myself actually worked 3 jobs, 3 jobs, no kidding. The reason why I'm in this environment is that I'm helping them do live streaming and things like that, But, this is just one of my job, right? And I've got other jobs as well, right? So I do a lot of jobs, and these jobs enable me to make a second or third income. Now, some people say, but Mr. Lu, my job doesn't allow me to work part-time in some other thing. Well, have a side hustle, sell something else on the side. You don't even need to appear, buy from Taobao, sell in Amazon, or Shopee or something like that. It's something quite doable, right? Do a side hustle, give tuition, do something different, right? This side income now is, can do a lot. And the other one is invest very well, which I spent a whole 10 years running the 1 in 6 5 movement to educate everybody how to invest well. All these will increase the streams of income. So if you have not enough money, do another job, do a side hustle, and finally build more streams of income. The last I count for myself, because I've been fanatical about building streams of income, I think like 6 or 7 streams of income, okay? Not some of them are very small, some of them are decent, the size and things like that, But if you don't start, you'll always be stuck in this insufficient income, right? Now, a lot of you mentioned job insecurity, and it is true. Nowadays, as you grow older, reaching 40 years old, 50 years old, there's a good chance that your company is going to suck and just, retrench you. It is very important that at this point in time, we build our own skills up. This is where the government throws a ton of money at you to go for skills future, to train and retrain, right? If you don't have time to do this, there's a lot of YouTube courses available out there, people teaching you how to do things whatsoever. I learned big data by myself. I learned data analytics by myself. I learned live streaming on the fly. I learned a lot of things by myself, right? It's something that you must train and retrain and train to get yourself always at the forefront of technology. The minute you stop learning and upskilling yourself, you're dead. Now, second thing is very important is that you must pursue your passion. It's very difficult to be good in something unless you are pursuing that passion. The most important thing about job security is to start your own business. I know a lot of people say, but Mr. Lu, I'm not into entrepreneurship and things like that. Well, I'm not asking you to start a big mega company that become a unicorn, right? Start small little side hustle, right? Start with a small side hustle, do some trading, buy something, on the side, and then sell something on the side. Small little business, that gradually grows up. If you have a business, the only person that can fire you is your customer. And your customer, a lot is within your control. Right? You provide good customer service, competitive pricing, good marketing, whatever. If you don't beef this up, then you're always at the whims and fancies of your bosses, your HR, and your finance, that anytime they can let you go. I can say this for sure. When you reach 40, 50, 60 years old, the chances of you being fired is very, very high. Now, are there unforeseen circumstances and health issues that will cause you to be financially crippled? Yes, of course, right? There are people with health issues and there are people with life issues and so on. I recognize that not all life problems can be overcome. Born in families that are disadvantaged in certain way whatsoever. I just want to say this, okay? A lot of the health issue can be avoided if we keep ourselves healthy. No kidding, right? Eat healthy, exercise, live positively. More importantly, have very positive, like-minded people around you with powerful social connection, right? Because all these help to build longevity and a good life, very, very important. A second thing is that, to overcome life problems, I realize you need two things. You need grit and creativity, resourcefulness. So grit is something you need, what I call tahanability, right? That's very, very important. A lot of the life problems goes away over time when you resolve it, right? So you need to have tahanability to deal with it. And second is that you need resourcefulness to deal with this life problem. I just want to say this with a word of empathy is that I recognize that not all life problems can be overcome. But if you keep yourself healthy and be resourceful and have tahanability, you have the chance of overcoming quite a lot of them. Now, given the recent inflation spike, it is true that prices have gone up a lot. Let's not deny that. As a result, people felt that they have less savings for retirement, have to pay for medical expenses and things like that. I just need to say this, to cope with inflation, one of the ways is to keep yourself with a healthy lifestyle, healthy, simple lifestyle. You don't need to have atas things, right? You don't need to travel to expensive places. You can travel to cheaper places. You can go Malaysia for holiday. You can do wonderful stuff. Some of the best things in life are free, right? A lot of the people say, I want to go for holiday, relax, right? The park is a nice place, okay? Go for strolls, a nice place. I do a lot of that, right? Those things are free. You don't need to eat at an expensive restaurant. After this, I'm going to go to and eat a kway chap at a very famous, store. And I think it's very nice to eat, right? So a lot of times, it is our life expectation. A simple lifestyle will help you combat inflation. Of course, there are things that you cannot avoid. That is true, okay? The antidote for the problem of inadequacy of retirement is to invest well. I don't care how hardworking you are, if you save money but don't invest it, inflation will eat it up, okay? And your hand itchy will go and spend the money away. So the best protection against retirement inadequacy is financial wisdom and good investment. You need to put your money to work for you. I spent a whole 10 years educating everybody on financial literacy. I hope that you can pick up some of these things. You do not need to make 10, 20, 30%. You can make 4% interest. Yeah, you can make 5% returns, that kind of thing, right? You will do fantastically well when you let it compound to a long period, and you will grow very, very well. Medical expenses is rising, and that is true. One of the best ways to cope with medical expenses is to keep yourself healthy. Now, I live a very unhealthy life my whole life, almost my whole life. Only the last 2 years, I've lost weight from 90 over kilogram down to 75 kilogram. Recently, I put on a bit of weight to 75. Last time was 72. And I'm desperately working very hard to trim it off and things like that. But keeping yourself healthy is the best way to avoid medical expenses. On top of that, have a good hospitalization insurance and term insurance. I also need to say that, explore possibility of alternative medical treatment, right? So number one is that I always say, you go with JB and buy medicine is a lot cheaper, right? You try out TCM, for example. When I'm sick, I go TCM. They are a lot cheaper and more effective in the long run, right? Explore, be resourceful, have an open mind to see where these things are. I think the most important thing is that, we need to be very creative to deal with this thing, and we need to be very healthy. And I can tell you, living with a healthy life makes you feel damn good. Okay? Now, I just want to say this, that there's a lot of negativity towards having children, and that's because children are very expensive. Is it true? Yes. Okay? I think a lot of the expenses when it comes to children is about expectation, I give you an example. I realize that a lot of parents don't believe in this in Singapore. When I have my 3 children, all their milk powder are from Malaysia, and I get ridiculed terribly because one can of milk powder is about 40 Singapore dollars. The same milk powder in Malaysia costs about $25. So I best buy a ton of it from Malaysia. And my children grew up with Malaysian milk. And a lot of people say Malaysian milk substandard, produce stupid children, produce children that are not so fit. Well, I think my children are all growing up fit, okay? I think are all very healthy, and I think they're all very wise in their own way. So I don't see why, we cannot do that. So I think the other one is you can have expensive diaper or cheap diaper. For example, when you deliver your baby, you can have a maid or you need confinement lady. Kindergarten, you either go to PAP1 or Montessori, the price difference is like that, So I don't know why parents are fanatical about changing a house to somewhere near top primary schools and things like that. Do you really need to do that? So a lot of the expenses are self-incurred. I don't think I spend that kind of money. I never felt that my children is draining until I cannot breathe. You can say that, Mr. Lu, you're richer, right? When I was young, I don't think the early years I actually make a lot of income. But children has never been a drag because I didn't give them all the luxuries of life. But I recognize that a lot of parents want to give their children the best. Then you pay the highest price, and then you find it become expensive and have less children. I can say this with 100% certainty. The greatest joy in life is to have happy and loving children around you. Children are a tremendous blessing to your life. Tremendous. My wife and I just had dinner at a coffee shop yesterday, and we went for a stroll after that in the park. We bicker, we chit-chat, we gossip for an hour, we have a good laugh and things like that. I tell you, the feeling is tremendous, right? Simple pleasures, free. That kind of joy is tremendous. Money, is something you look at it like, if you look at it like an investment, this is money well spent, good investment. I just want to say this, that, children will bring you tremendous joy. Do not hold back in having children in your life. The other thing I want to say is that 4 out of 5 people, with 80% of people aim to retire by 65, is way too early. Most of them believe that they need about $2,856 in living expenses per month to live comfortably. First of all, I actually think that $2,800 is very easy to achieve in retirement. Okay, very easy to achieve. And some of you might say, of course, Mr. Lu, you rich and things like that. No, CPF Life can do most of this heavy lifting already. And do a bit of part-time work. Do a bit of part-time work to keep yourself, gainfully employed. My father at 85 years old still do some admin work. Yeah, small pay, but it keeps him very healthy and gainfully employed, and it feels very meaningful. 85 years old. he still do administrative work, and I think all of us could do something about it. So although my personal worry is that $2,800 is not enough, but that's a topic for another day. But if everybody, 80% of you feel that $2,800 is enough for you, it's very easy to achieve, right? So financial freedom in retirement is achievable. It's achievable. It's very achievable. The other thing is 1 in 5 prefer to retire overseas. And I think you believe that there's lower cost of living, slower pace of life, and preferred weather. The top destination is Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand. I agree. That's why I'm already preparing for my JB house already. But you need to start planning now. Go to those places that you are exploring early, find out more about a place, get yourself motivated. I actually think that Australia and New Zealand are actually quite expensive. I don't know why people think that that's a nice thing. The weather is nice, the air is nice, animals are nice, that is good. JB is everything good except one thing, in my opinion. The food too nice. Yeah, go there, stomach become pui pui. Thailand, I think I got a language problem, okay? But anyway, different people like different places. But yes, that's an alternative we should all look at. On the topic of insurance, I won't be mad to buy whole life insurance. It's very expensive. Use term insurance and hospitalization insurance. 3 in 5 said that they have life insurance coverage, okay, and 2 in 5 have critical illness protection. I just need to say that insure yourself in the cheapest way that has the maximum payout. Do not combine investment and insurance together. It becomes very expensive. To wrap up, I just want to say this to the half of the people in Singapore that feels that financial freedom is impossible. Do not despair. It can be done. It can be done. Simple steps can be taken to help you achieve it. Now, the one thing I want to tell everybody, the minute you tell yourself it cannot be done, for sure it cannot be done. So don't give up. Keep pressing on. Don't despair. Follow us very tightly. We will try to not just give you the knowledge. I'll try to inspire you as well to reach there. I wish you well, and we'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.